All right, so good afternoon, and you're welcome to the Pre-New York session analysis. Now, today is Tuesday, the 29th of April 2025. We have a few fundamental events remaining for the day. One already was released in the morning from the Eurozone, and this afternoon session is mainly for the United States dollar. Now, by 2 p.m., there'll be S&P CS composite event, which will come up 2 p.m. It's a medium impact event. And by 3 p.m., there'll be two other events, the JOLT job opening and the CB consumer confidence. Now, the first event, like I said, is a medium impact event. And the other two, one is a high impact event, and the second is equally a medium impact event. Now, if you observe today, there has not been much volatility because we've not really had a high impact fundamental event, But then if these two events come out, three events rather come out really good or bad, whichever one, that can create some volatility in the market. So let's look briefly at what each of these events is all about. For the S&P CS composite, it's a change in the selling price of single-family homes in 20 metropolitan areas, and actual greater than forecast is good for the currency. And that's the one for 2 p.m. The job opening is the number of job openings during the reported month, excluding the farming industry. And actual greater than forecast is good for currency. So when we talk about job openings, that is basically what we call vacancy. Imagine it's the total number of vacancy of open positions available, for people who are looking for jobs. And actual greater than forecast is good for the currency. And for the CB consumer confidence is the level of a composite index based on surveyed households. Again, actual greater than forecast is good for the currency. So by 2 p.m., if the data comes out good for the dollar, that is actual greater than forecast, that is the data greater than 4.6%, maybe 4.7% and above, then we'll see a bullish movement in the dollar. And if later on by 3 p.m., similar high data is expected, higher greater than forecast, then we'll see a massive bullish movement in the dollar. But if on the other hand, the data comes out less than the forecast, that will lead to a bearish movement in the dollar. But then I'll flip now to my MetaTrader and I'll show you what I'm expecting in the market technically for each of these events this afternoon. So we check, since it's a dollar event, we check the dollar index. All right, so this is the dollar index. Now on the dollar index, price recently broke through a previous support level on the weekly time frame, and we expect price to retest that support as a resistance. Then we expect further decline. But then, like I said, we expect a retest first, and that's the important part that we're looking at for today and even this week. And what will also confirm the retest is the fact that the last week candle on the weekly time frame closed as a rejection candle. So that's a confirmation we'll have some bullish movement on the dollar for this week. And if we flip down to the 4-hour time frame, we can see already the formation of an inverse head and shoulder pattern on the 4-hour. Now, this generally is a bullish pattern, and if price breaks above the neckline region I've drawn up there, then we will see a massive bullish movement on the dollar. Confirmation will be that our RSI will be above 50. So if by 2 p.m. and 3 p.m. the data for the United States comes out good for the dollar, then we can safely buy the dollar because technically the market is actually getting ready for a bullish movement. So which dollar pairs can we buy? We can look at buying the USD CHF. This is the USD CHF. It's having its own version of the inverse head and shoulder pattern, and price might project upwards. But then if you don't want to buy the USD CHF, you can look at selling the GBP USD. That will equally react to the market. Now, this is the GBP USD where price is currently at a resistance level on the 4-hour time frame, and further bearish is expected. So you can either buy the USD CHF or sell the USD, the GBP USD, for the data we're expecting in the afternoon. Another instrument I'm looking at for today is actually the US oil. And there's been experiences of massive bearish movements recently. Though currently price seems to be trading around the Fibonacci level, that's Fibonacci 38.2. It may experience a retest rather and proceed further to Fibonacci 50. So let's put our eyes on that. I've been watching this for quite some time. We have a bearish outlook on the US oil. At the level it is, there may be a retracement and a breakout further for a further continuation in the bearish direction. And for gold is trading within a range. And as such, you need to be very, very cautious with gold at this period. Gold is ranging on both the 1 hour and the 4 hour time frame. However, if price breaks out above the upper side of that range, we'll see a bullish breakout. And if it breaks out below the lower side, then we'll see a bearish movement. But for now, gold is in a range. Now, within the range, the only possibility of a trade we can see now is I can clearly see that this is trying to form what looks like a double bottom pattern. If price is able to break out above this neckline region, the price may target the upper part of this range, which is the resistance part. So you can just look out for that, possibly to pick a bullish trade if price eventually evolves to break the neckline region. So we might have a short-term bullish movement on gold. But however, the major move will be if price breaks out above here for a long-time buy, or if it breaks out below for a long-term sell. And if you're observing your WhatsApp groups, I posted a setup I'm also watching on the XRP. XRP is actually the Ripple crypto coin. And I hold a bearish outlook on this instrument. Why am I bearish on Ripple? Firstly, price hits a descending trend line, forming lower highs, and with a rejection candle that closed yesterday. So technically, that means we're looking for a bearish opportunity on this instrument. And secondly, price equally hit a previous support which turned resistance here. So two major reasons why we're looking for a bearish movement on XRP. And if you take it down to the 4 hour time frame, we can clearly see again the formation of a shoulder ahead, a second shoulder. The price is retracing at the moment, but eventually I still anticipate a further bearish breakout. And if you take it down to 1 hour, it's a lot clearer. We have shoulder ahead, a second shoulder. And this region here is the neckline region. And price has clearly broken below the neckline and is retesting the trend line. So we should be anticipating a bearish breakout on XRP any moment from now. So if you want to sell XRP, what I would suggest you do is that you wait for price to clearly break out below this support zone. Once the new candle drops and breaks out below here, then we should get ready for some bearish trade on the XRP. And if that happens, you can look at profit taking around this Fibonacci level and possibly the next one right here. All right, so that'll be all from my analysis this afternoon. I've analyzed a few instruments for us. The USDX, which is the dollar index, where I said I'm bullish. I said I'm bearish on the GBP USD, and also US oil I'm bearish, and the XRP. If you have any instruments you want me to analyze, you can go ahead and post it into the comment section. while we begin to round up gradually. So while we're waiting for the question, don't forget Friday this week is our NFP. Friday will be the first Friday in the month of May. So we anticipate trading our NFP. Make sure you plan ahead and fund your account ahead of this event. All right, Adequation is asking me to check BTC. Japheth is asking me to check USDJPY.
Sorry,
yes,
sir.
ma'am.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
Sorry, sir, please, about this XRP.
Yes, ma'am.
What's the minimum amount we can use to trade it? Please, sir.
You can use at least anything from $1,500 and above. But don't go beyond 0.01 lots if you want to trade it.
Thank you very much. I'm grateful. Thank you.
You're welcome. All right, for BTC, my earlier view on this instrument, maybe yesterday thereabout, its price is still trading around that previous support, turned resistance. Price is still around this region. So technically, we should be looking for a reversal, but then price seems to be doing some kind of range, but then we'll still find a way around it. I'm seeing what looks a lot like the formation of a symmetrical triangle at this point here. So if you remember the rule around symmetrical triangle, if price breaks out above the trend line, then it means we're buying. And if price breaks out below, it means we're selling. So we keep our fingers crossed and watch. If a new candle opens above right here, we'll buy. And we may set our take profits at this next reset high. And if it breaks out below the lower region, we sell and we'll make this region take profit also. So the person asking about BTC, the point BTC is now is neither buying nor selling. So we need to wait and see where the breakout will happen. And that can guide us to know the particular trade we are taking. So that is for Adekoye Shegun. And for Japheth that is asking about USDJPY.
All right, thank you, sir.
Yes, sir. Don't forget we are bullish on the dollar from what we saw on the dollar index. And for USDJPY, price hit the support zone last week and closed as a slight rejection candle. So technically, we should still be looking for an opportunity to buy the USDJPY also, just as the other major pairs. To be honest, at the moment, there's no clarity around the Euro USD. It's a bullish setup. It formed an inverse head and shoulder, but then there is a retracement here. It might still go up, but I'm not seeing any clarity for entry at the moment. If you're not on a trade on it, I would advise you just hold on. Let some clarity get restored into the market. Please, Euro USD, should we still hold the bearish trade? If you're given a signal, just hold it. Make sure you have your take profit and stop loss in place, then just hold it. Now, if the trade is in profit, the advice I can give is that you can put you can put your take profit, shift your take profit to your entry price, so that way you have locked in profit and that trade cannot be a losing trade anymore. So I will advise hold it, but shift, if you're already in profit, shift your stop loss to your entry price. All right, that'll be the end of the analysis this afternoon. You trade safe and
sir, please, I wanted to ask one question. Sir.
All right.
I think you shift this stop loss to entry, and then you find that not long after that, the market will reverse and come and hit you and take you out. But whereas at times, if you don't move it, the market will continue going. I don't know whether there is that thing that attracts the movement or just normal, because most of the time I've tried shifting my stop loss, but not long after that, it will just come and throw me out. And at times, it might even be something worse than where it was before I moved the stop loss. I may not take any serious thing out of it. Yes, sir.
Now, shifting your stop loss to break even is a good concept that can help you lock in profit. But then it's also good that the market has moved appreciably to a level before you shift your stop loss to entry. I mean, to shift your stop loss, you have to entry price to lock in profit. For example, now, it all depends on the kind of trade you are on. Let's assume you are on a trade where your expected take profit is like 30 pips, for instance.
Yes.
By the time your trade is getting to like 18, 20 pips in profit, you can lock in profit. That way, it's rare for price to go back to entry price at such instances, except if there are unforeseen activities in the market like fundamentals. But not that you are on a trade where the profit is 30 pips and your price is just 5 pips in profit and you're shifting. That would be too close. Even 10 pips is too close. But if your profit is 30 pips, anything from 15 pips, yes, you can shift your stop loss to entry.
Thank you very much. I'm very grateful. Thank you, sir.
All right, that'll be the end of the session. Do have a wonderful trading day as you round up the day.